guys. I just am finishing dinner, so. Oh, come on. Everything is hung up. How are we doing tonight, guys? Let me make sure that everything is good on the audio. You can hear all kinds of good stuff. Like Sophie drinking in the background. Huh. Yeah. All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me and see me. Looks like my microphone is working, so that's very cool. All righty. I think that we are good to go. Okay, you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, that is fantastic. All right. Hey Lex, I'm live.
Yeah, I know.
And ask the boys if they are doing anything that's taking a lot of internet. Because we don't want to have internet troubles tonight. Or any night, really. Okay. So I still have not gotten my piece of wood cut down. So it's huge. So I am experiencing a little bit of challenges with that. But other than that, I think I have a great way to make this guy look a little less scary, creepy. Because I do think there is a cute little gremlin inside of this. Not really gremlin. A cute little gentleman hidden within this mischievous leprechaun. So we are going to try to bring him forth. And I have an idea on how to do that. I'm going to move me so you guys can see the reference photo. If I move the board too far that way, then I can't see the chat because the board is huge. All right. That being said, so great to have everybody here tonight. Let me see. Yeah?
Everyone, William Catch's internet are also doing really bad.
Okay. Tell them to
They're
back.
not doing up to...
Okay, well just tell them to maybe get off of what they're doing.
Oh.
I'm live.
Are you on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Have fun.
All right. Yeah, let's try to keep the internet down, guys. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Mina. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Estella. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Zona. Hi, Steve. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Terry. Hello, Michelle. Let's see what else. Just want to make sure I get to everybody and say hi before we get started. Hi, TH. Okay. Hey, Barbara. All right. So I think I've kind of gave a shout out to everybody here so far. Yeah, I have a great way to make him look a little bit less kind of, I don't know. It's like he's had too many mushrooms. Okay. So he is tripping, this little guy. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Angela. So glad that you can be here this week. I am loving this guy too. And we are going to start out by working on the eyes. I turned my burners on just a tad bit ago. Hopefully they can catch up. So we're going to zoom in here and hopefully... Oh, that's what I did last week. I put the reference photo above. Let me do that again, because I know it helps you guys to see the reference photo that I'm working on. Woo! Okay, I'll move it up just a tad. So one of the things that I love to do that is a great help when working with a project where you may not know, should I do this or should I do that? You have a couple of different options. One really cool thing to do is to take a picture of your work in progress, or even take your reference photo and put it in the computer and use whatever photo manipulation program that you like. I like Photoshop. It's old school and I love it. And I'll just get in there and create different layers and just start playing around with brushes. and see what I can do to maybe modify or tweak things. I've even added color to wood burnings that way without the risk of possibly ruining the project. So if you're ever unsure of something, definitely throw it in the computer and just kind of play around with it. I know that's maybe a specialized skill set that not everybody has, and I understand that. But it is very helpful to make a digital copy of your project and just kind of play with it. So I did that with this guy, and I think we are going to dive back into those eyes and make them kind of toned down a little bit. Alrighty. Yay, Photoshop. Absolutely, Barbara. Hi, Mellow Yellow. Yes, I lit the fire tonight. We might need to push that in here in a little bit. It's going to get pretty hot. But we have, oh gosh. I was on the tractor today. I think I measured 9 to 10 inches in the yard. You were dragging bottom in the truck when you left today. I saw that and I'm thinking, yeah, there's a lot. So, if you are on the Discord channel, I did post a little video clip of me snow blowing from the tractor view, and it is, I think it's in the wrong group. There's the general group, and then there's the ideas and feedback group. For some reason I put it in there. Mr. Nobody, hi, how are you? So glad that you can be here tonight. You're gonna have to tell us more about you, Mr. Nobody. And we are so happy to have you here and hope that you enjoy the live streams. They're a lot of fun. The community is fantastic. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is, I think the reason why he looks a little bit overwhelming and scary is because we can see so much of his eyes. It's like you can see the back side of his eyes. So I'm going to pull these shadows down, and I'm just going to use the same Versa tool with the shading point that we've used in the past. So I did this on the computer and it did help a lot. Alrighty, so we are going to just bring this gradient. You know how the last time we burned the eyes, there's a gradient. It's darker at the top and it gets lighter towards the bottom. We are going to just pull that gradient down and tone down the whites of his eyes because they're just a little bit overwhelming. Hi, Vivian. Vivian is saying that there's Photoshop Elements, which is a little more user-friendly. Yep. Golly, I learned Photoshop in high school, and I've been using it ever since as a graphic artist designer. So I'm kind of stuck with Photoshop because I know it, and I'm able to create what I want to pretty easily. So I'm stuck with the real Photoshop, but there is Photoshop Elements as well, and that is definitely very cool, and it can create so many wonderful things that you don't have to worry about being overwhelmed with the full Photoshop. Okay. Oh, okay. Terry, thanks. Yes, it does look very warm and inviting when I'm not sitting in front of it. I'll try to scoot over here, but it's very, very nice. Mellow Yellow, you got a huge snowstorm last weekend, over 3 feet in 2.5 days. Wow, that's a lot. We're a little bit lighter on snow this year compared to last year, but we're still doing okay. And Mr. Nobody, you're doing great. Your name is Tim, and you live in Florida. Wonderful. It's nice to have a name, Tim. We can still call you Mr. Nobody if you'd like. You've been watching my videos for a long time, and you joined Patreon last month. Awesome. Thank you so much. It is a tremendous help to make me able to do all the things that we do here each week. Okay, so TH has a very good question about the Pro Point. So I have been in contact with Walnut Hollow, and I can't really give out all the specifics at this time, but I will tell you that there is good news regarding the Pro Point. I don't know what they will call it, but things are moving forward, and hopefully, well, I can't even say a release date, but I just want you to know things are moving forward and things are looking really good. So as soon as I can tell you more, I will. But there is motion moving forward, and it's all good news. So, all right, he is still, now he looks like he has a black eye. All right, we're just gonna look at this, and I think he looks a little happier. I'm gonna pull that shadow down a little bit more. Oh gosh, just checking the chat. Yes, TH, you guys should be able to get your Pro Point this year. That is the goal. So, little while longer. Hang in there, guys. But it should be mass produced. So, yay! Happy dance. Everybody gets a Pro Point pretty soon. And not like one that I ground down and made. They should all be consistent and really, really nice. So, okay. So I'm pulling, now he's kind of like one-eyed, loppy-eyed. But if we look here, I think he's looking a little bit more smiling and a little bit less glaring. I don't know. We'll keep going with it. Oh gosh. Mellow Yellow had a state of emergency. Oh dear. Yeah, that's no fun. We're kind of on our own up here, so anyway, it's all scary. That much snow and that much time is pretty serious. Yeah, Terry, I hope that you'll be moved and all settled in at that time. Okay, so I'm just pulling the gradient on the eyes down a little bit. To make him look more smiling, we're going to try this and see if it works. And then we'll move on. Probably I would like to burn like the mouth and the ears tonight for sure. And we're going to just kind of blend some of this stuff out here and soften up some of these hard lines. And maybe he's going to look more twinkly-eyed. Because I love this fellow. I think he's very mischievously charming.
I'm gonna take off.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Oh,
I'll be back by 8.
oh, there's a plate on the counter with meat and cheese and crackers. Did you find that?
I did. I left it there.
Well, eat it. Take some with you. Put it in a bag. Something.
Is it for me?
It's for whoever. I had some, but I'm busy for a bit. So eat it. Eat it or put it in the fridge because it won't last.
I'll put it in the fridge.
Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. It is great news, guys, about the Pro Point. Very, very good. And I'm super excited to share more information once things are kind of settled out and confirmed and all that jazz. But I just have to give a shout out to Walnut Hollow. They are so fantastic to work with. Just every time I've turned around, they've been very pleasant and wonderful. So definitely share your support for them. Whoa, what do you mean loading? No, you can't load. All right, hold on, guys. I forgot to hit record. Okay, there we go. Now it won't do that. We're good. All right. So I think because I added more shading to his eyes, I need to darken his eyes up a little bit more. He might have to go with darker eyes. Guys, what do leprechauns have? Do they usually have blue eyes? I think they usually have lighter eyes. Well, he's going to have a little bit darker eyes. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of fun. Just by adding a little dark outline above the top part of the eyes. Look at how those eyes just popped. That's pretty cool. And I'm still going to burn a tiny gradient at the top and blend it down. All right, so I'm gonna zoom out real quick and we're gonna take a look at his eyes and see if he looks a little bit more happy. What do you think? Does he look more smiley and less creepy? Okay.
Could go either way.
Could go either way. Well, there's still that hint of mischief, but if you look here on the reference photo, I think we did a pretty good step in the right direction. Okay. All right. Chat. Mr. Nobody, Tim, says your wife and you drive semi trucks. Okay, that's right, across the country. And wood burn over the road, but it's hard to find time. Yeah, you're new to this and you've burned about 4 or 5 things. Well, you're in the right spot because we do all kinds of projects. This is a more advanced one for sure, but we have easy projects, intermediate, advanced, and then like super advanced like we're doing here tonight. So, but you'll learn so much even with the more advanced ones. So lots of fun. Thanks, Mina. Thanks, Barbara. Alrighty. Oh, green eyes. They have green eyes. That still works, guys. Okay, I do think it looks much better. All right, let's zoom in and try to get the mouth in next because generally I like to get the main features, and of course I put a crease in the paper right there. All right, let's see. My reference photos are always trashed by the time I'm done with these. But on these bigger projects, folding the reference photo definitely helps. All right, we're just gonna hide his eyes for a little bit and focus on the mouth. Okay, so I know, I think it was last week, Mina was really talking about how I always say don't outline teeth. And Terry, I just got sidetracked. You all like my voice? It's very soothing. Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you. I'm glad I don't have like a really grating voice. I try to, not be nasally. I don't know. I try to talk gently. Thank you. You have me all like messed up now. Okay. You're so sweet. I think I'm blushing. Zona says your youngest cat Frankie must like my voice. Oh, this is how it came to be. Aw, she came over and sat down to watch. I love kitties. They're so sweet. All right. Checking on the chat, making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, less hopped up on mushrooms. Okay. Thanks, Vivian. Okay. Steve says, try doing a wood burning of a bullfrog peeking out of ice. A bulldog or a bullfrog? A bullfrog. That would be different. Hi, Rich. Glad you can be here tonight. Aw, thanks, Zona. All right, I'm going to try to stay focused here so we can keep moving. I am going to zoom in a little bit. Also, I swear, guys, I will get everything pulled together and we'll actually do some burning here. Okay, I think it helps if I zoom in a little bit more and give you guys a little bit more of a close-up. And let me do some spot focus so that we don't get focused on the back side of my hand, which is frustrating. Okay, so it should all stay a bullfrog. Okay, peeking out of ice. Frogs don't do very well in the cold, right? Frogs? I don't think they do very well in the ice. Okay, so let's see. First thing I'm going to do is outline the main features lightly. Remember, we've always talked about when you outline stuff, try to keep your outlines to where you can hide them later. But by outlining lightly, I'm going to create a separation of values between the different zones here. So I'm not laying down a really dark value. I am just laying down kind of kind of just a light mid-tone. See if I go clear over here, then you can see the fire. Because I want this outline to kind of be part of his face. I want it to blend in. I don't want it to be really standout-y. If you do a heavy outline around each tooth, a lot of times it's going to look a little bit forced or odd. Or unnatural, I guess, is a better way to put that. Unnatural. And I love, he has a crooked tooth. There's one tooth in front of the other one. That'll be fun. This is really not the best angle for my hand. My apologies, because I'm kind of all crammed over in the corner. And I am still on full heat right now. Okay. Thank you guys. I'm so glad that what I do is helping you. Everybody in there, I know Zona and Mina and Terry, Vivian, Cynthia. I'm so glad that you guys, Lisa, are helping, or I guess I am helping you guys to learn more. So thanks, Mina. It's very humbling and very cool to know that I'm helping people with something that they really enjoy. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. I love you guys. All right, now I'm going to just lightly outline underneath the teeth. Now, his teeth are in shadow. So if you have a heavy overshadow like this, you can lightly outline the teeth. You can get away with a darker outline. But if you have somebody that's facing into the light and they're smiling, see, like right now, you can't see any lines. There's nothing there. So be careful when you outline teeth. Generally, you don't. But this guy is an exception because his mouth is in shadow. And he's a caricature, so we can kind of get away with a little bit looser on the rules. But if you want to create a more realistic artwork or a portrait of a wood burning of somebody, go less on the outlines. Just a faint line. Let's see. All right, Rich and Steve, you guys are going now. You have Bing AI. Oh, you want me to have it? Okay. Create a picture of a bullfrog peeking out of ice. Oh, you did it and you got some interesting images. How cool. Rich says bullfrogs hibernate in mud at bottoms of ponds, can live in sub-zero temps. Cool. I didn't think they really liked the cold. Vivian says if it wasn't for me, all of the people in your portraits would be bald. Okay. Awesome. So glad that you guys are all learning and doing well. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Barbara. Hi, Vicky. Awesome, guys. Okay, so very light outlines around these teeth. Now, he doesn't have a lot of teeth, so we do have kind of a dark recess back here. So we can start adding in a little bit of a darker zone. Be careful you don't get overburn in this area where your burn marks transfer over into areas you don't mean to burn. So you might want to build up these darker values in layers. And then switch to a new spot because it's going to get pretty... Okay, what am I seeing there? I'm not sure if I'm seeing another tooth back there. I don't know. I like him with just 4 teeth. So he gets 4 teeth. Same thing on this side. We are going to add the shadows in the mouth, kind of those dark recesses in the corners. Okay, so we have the darker areas in the mouth. Now we have this little tiny strip underneath the teeth. It's not quite as dark as the corners, and I do need to hit those corners again because they're not quite dark enough. Let's see. It's a little bit lighter between the teeth. The gap between his two front teeth is a little bit lighter than the bottom part. Okay, so right there we already have a pretty good kind of roughed in teeth feature. Okay, let me hit these corners one more time to darken them up. Okay, that's looking better. Glad you're back, Mellow Yellow. Yeah, the internet can just be crazy sometimes. All right, I'm gonna darken this corner over here. Add another layer of dark values. And try not to overburn that tooth. Of course, don't worry too much about the overburn on the teeth because they're all going to be in shadow anyway. But if you are trying to work around something that's really light, take care not to get that overburn. See, he doesn't even have like hardly any shading underneath this tooth right there. Alrighty. I think we need a touch darker value on this line under the teeth. Now his teeth are kind of like really squared off right now, but we can round them out a little bit later. You can even put a chip in his tooth. That'd be cute. He looks like he could use a chip in the tooth. So I'm going to just kind of round off slightly. I hope you guys can see that. It's a little bit very fine details, but just kind of round off his teeth a little bit. And you might notice I kind of accidentally burned into one of that tooth right there. Just make the tooth less wide. You'll be fine. So we have a little bit of roundedness here. Round that one there. So now his teeth have a more rounded appearance. And next up, we are going to add just a general gradient over the top. So this is going to be soft shading across the top of the teeth. I don't see any super bright highlights here on the teeth, so you can just do a light value over all the teeth. Now we want to go back and add a little bit darker gradient towards the top. And then we'll work on the overlap. Mr. Nobody, you have been very nervous to try to burn feathers and hair. If you look back on Patreon, we do have a couple of those projects that might help you. We burned, we did a wood burning of an eagle in like the very beginning. It would be, oh gosh, we're almost 2 years in. So it'd be springtime of 2022, I think. We wood burned a realistic eagle with feathers, and then we just completed a project with an owl that had feathers and hair. We have not burned a portrait yet, other than this guy, but we have burned long animal hair, which is close in texture, very close. It's basically the same thing. So there's a dog portrait, there's a pet portrait here on Patreon as well. That features different lengths of hair that might be helpful. All right, so we have this tooth kind of back here. We're going to add just a little bit more shading, and I hope my head's out of the way. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna just kind of knock that tooth down a little bit, push it back. And same thing with this one, but we want to keep more of our gradient towards the top and then pull it down. Gradient at the top and blend it down. This one we have a little bit darker right here because it's behind the front teeth as well. So it's so fun how you can kind of push and pull the values with the teeth. Dark recedes, white pulls forward. And you can always go back and kind of clean this up a little bit if you want more crisp teeth. So I can go back in and put more of an outline in between the teeth. And up at the top where the teeth meet the lip. And when I outline, I just want to make sure it's enough to create definition, but not so much that it's like, oh my gosh, the whole thing is outlined, just overwhelmingly outlined. I hope that makes sense, guys. You want to be subtle with your outlining. Outlining is great for creating definition, like what I'm doing here, just adding in a little bit to kind of clean up the teeth. They were getting a little fuzzy and blurred together. But don't overdo the outlining with realistic portraiture. Otherwise it looks a little bit forced or unnatural. Okay, so that's a little bit more clear. And then, you know, you can always blend it out a little bit more if you like. So fine tuning between shading and texture is basically what we're doing here. Okay. All right, so let's take a peek. This little guy. All right, I think he looks happier. Oh, that's right, Mina. We did a white owl and a white swan as well. Thank you, Mina. Forgot about those ones. Back up to the top. Rich, you delivered the menu board and the owner loved it and wants another surfboard. That's awesome. Very cool. I love it when you find a niche like that. Like the bicycles that you've been doing for the bicycle shop. And now this one, that's great. Okay. You know, Terry, his teeth are not going to be perfect. Okay, Lisa, you want to watch the eagle one? Yes. That was one, I think it was like our third live stream. So it was quite a while ago. Okay. So Vivian has a good question. On portraits of people that happen to have separation on their teeth, would you just give a hint of that separation, make it true to the subject, or not do it at all? If your goal is realism, then I would just try to match the photo as much as you can, like the reference photo as much as you can. Yeah, just play it really subtle, because I would say if somebody does have like a big gap in their teeth, they might be a little bit self-conscious of it. So I would add it in there, but make it subtle. You don't want to do like the big outline of the teeth. So another thing that you can do, like, I mean, this is going to be really bad here, guys. I'm going to freehand a little mouth with teeth. It's going to be horrible, but we're just going to do it. As an example. All right. So if you have, this is going to be really fun. If you have a smile, oh, wow, I hit the wood grain. If you have a smile here, kind of like we just did, and you see that there's teeth in there, and you just start outlining the teeth, like, again, these are really bad teeth, but you get the idea here. Wow, I don't even know this is anatomically correct, but you can see how if you add harsh outlines around each tooth, it's going to look unnatural. So instead, oh gosh, so I don't even know, there's a little bit of a mouthy thing there. So everything needs to be more subtle. I can't even do it with this one right now because it's too hot. You're going to want to have, I'm going to try to do the same thing as above. And this is a freehand mouth, guys. Sorry, it's going to look really weird. I like reference photos. I don't do so well at freehanding. But you can already see the difference here of just a tiny bit of light outlining, and then you can add some shadows here. Maybe the upper lip is casting a shadow right here, and it's going to be darker in the corners. These are really wonky teeth anyway, but you can see how less is more with teeth. You don't want those big heavy outlines. And if you do have a gap, say they have a big gap in between their front teeth, you can still put those in, but just make them really subtle. And that's even more outlining than I would suggest. Let's see, I have a self-portrait of me somewhere. I think it's downstairs. I could probably find it on my phone, but I don't have my phone. Anyway, I'll see if I can post that somewhere for you guys. I did a self-portrait of me a long time ago, and I think it does have me smiling, but the teeth are very, very subtle. Hope that helps. Don't heavy outline the teeth, especially if they're bright white. Thanks, Lisa. Oh, Steve, that's funny. Alrighty. Beverly says, if you were to take one of the first live burnings to do over, would it be the same or better? Okay, let me read that again. If you were to take one of the first live burnings to do over, would it be the same or better? It's a good question. I would probably do it better just because the teaching thing has really, I've done better with explaining, I think, what I do, and I'm not so nervous when I teach. I don't know. I mean, after 82 live streams, this is 82. It's like 160 hours of teaching, guys. I'm a little bit more, I think, less nervous and laid back than I was in the beginning. So I used to try to make a business out of art stuff. I don't think I showed you guys this. Don't spill it on the thing. It didn't turn out very good, but this was my art cup. It says, oh, it's backwards. One's for sipping, one's for dipping. As artists, if you've ever done watercolors, you'll know the difference. One's coffee and one's paint water. So one's for sipping, one's for dipping. I tried to make a business out of it. It didn't really work, but I still have the coffee cup. Oh, Mina, this is 83. So yeah, we've done 82 tutorials, live streams. Okay. I am carrying on and trying to check the chat. Vivian says you usually make the teeth subtle, but somebody complained once that they didn't look like themselves. Yeah, you can always add it in. I would go light to begin with. Zona, yeah, I am... Oh, gosh, I have been so burned on human portraits, I can't tell you. Between not getting paid from close friends, I'm going to just sand some of these dark lines here. Not getting paid for portraits by close friends. I'm like, really? This is when I was first beginning. It was like a $70 portrait. I got paid half. I never got paid the rest. Anyway, and then there was this one client that I was burning for, and she was Oriental. Anyway, their skin is like really smooth and it's not easy to burn. And she had a bunch of family portraits that she wanted done. I did the first one and she's like, well, it doesn't look quite right. And so I worked on it some more, and it was like critique after critique, work. And then at one point she says, well, I like it better the way it was before. And I'm like, there's no erasing in wood burning. You can't just go back and hit undo. And finally I had to say, lady, I'll either give you your money back or you can take it as is, because I'm done. This was Very frustrating. And then I quit doing custom orders for a long time because of that. It was challenging and frustrating, and that's kind of when my art career or whatever, my exposure was really taken off, and I was getting a lot of people requesting custom orders, and I finally had to just shut it down and say, I'm not going to do any more custom orders right now, because I was trying to either do my DVDs or write a book, the first book, and I couldn't do both commissions and my own projects and then write a book. So I took many years off from custom orders, and so yeah, people that are overcritical, not fun to deal with. Not fun at all. All right, our fire is still on fire. That's good. But that's a very good question, guys. Very good question. Terry, you struggle to do the same thing twice. Me too. I'm not a cookie cutter. I can't just machine stamp stuff. Usually my second one is worse for some reason. Oh. So Zona, excuse me, you did a portrait of your mother-in-law's favorite dog that passed away, but you weren't happy with it, but she loved it. Aw. It's stressful to do those animal portraits like that, the memorial ones. Thanks, Barbara. You love the cup? Awesome. Do I have the cup for sale? No. Like the font, I'll have to redesign the cup. I may have to just make this for you guys. I already have the design. But don't put it on a black cup because the lettering disappeared. I'll get that up for you guys. Thanks, Terry. It's a fun cup. I love it. I thought it would be great for artists. I came up with all these cute little sayings and stuff. I have a whole storefront. I should just turn it back on and let you guys see it. Oh, it's fun. Okay. Nope. Yeah, not getting paid. No, I've been burned a few times. It sucks. All right, checking on the chat real quick, and I swear we'll get back to burning. Customs. Okay. All right, so somebody's asking about wood grain. Lisa, would you try to fill that grain or leave it? Are you talking like right here, the wood grain that's showing up right here? It's totally up to you. Thanks, Barbara. Okay, I will give you guys, I had a Shopify store with all kinds of cute art sayings. I have another cup. It says making art and looking sassy. It's got a unicorn on it with a paintbrush. Oh my gosh. I got one and my daughter loves it. It's her favorite cup. So in regards to the wood grain, it's totally up to you what you want to do. If you like the wood grain, leave it. If not, you can just burn right in between like this and kind of knock that wood grain down. So it's up to you. You just have, it's kind of tedious, but you can wood burn in between the wood grain. Oh, in the nostril. We're talking right here. Ooh. Now I did it. So this one is not wood grain. That's just a highlight over there. I haven't gotten to that one yet. Okay. Let's work on the lips here a little bit. Generally, female lips, you'll see a little bit more definition up and around the upper lip. Again, don't heavy outline it. You want to be subtle, especially men's lips. It's almost just like a gradient upward. It's not very overwhelming. So this guy, we're going to do a soft edge. And we're just going to add kind of a darker area right down below here. You guys have great ideas. And yes, I do have a Wood Burning University coffee cup as well. I think I did have some orders come through with my merchandise that got held up. Everything got pushed through now. So if you have ordered merchandise from Wood Burning University, everything should have shipped by now. So I thought it was like on auto shipping, and then they're like, you know, want me to do stuff. So I did it, and now your products are shipped. So, all right. Really nice and subtle there. It might even be a little bit of a hard edge, but let's fill in this corner. With something of this magnitude, thanks for being here tonight, Mr. Nobody. Aw, yes, enjoy time with your wife. And you can always go back and check the live streams later on your own time. Zona says, the Minisa squad. You guys want shirts and cups with Minisa squad on it? Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Vivian wants a cup that says, I play with fire every day. Nice. Make them wonder, guys. Make them wonder. All right, so I'm going to pull this gradient down from the corner of his lip down towards his mouth. We do have a little bit of a kind of an up and around curvature thing here. And same thing with that bottom lip. The edges of the lip are going to be almost undefinable. Especially with men. Their lips, unless they're, I don't know, a movie star or something, men generally don't have very pronounced lips. Of course, they don't accentuate them either, generally, with lipstick and all that jazz. I mean, to each their own. If you're a guy and you like lipstick, okay, that's fine. Then the lips would be more defined. So, but generally, guys without makeup, their lips are a little bit less defined. You can't do or say anything without offending people these days. Okay. Bernie Bear. Oh, I missed that about Bernie Bear, Barbara. Bernie Bear won't let you use his Wood Burning University coffee cup. Aw. I have a coffee cup. I love it with the Wood Burning University on there. And then I have my water cup. Got that one too. Very, very nice. Okay. You guys gotta check out my merchandise thing. If there's more things that you want, let me know and I'll put it up there. Barbara, I love your Bernie Bear photo shoots. Yes, Barbara, the mischievous smile smile is coming together. But another thing, like if your mouth is too puckered, you need to add lines at the end. So we have a little bit of lines over here that we can elongate and accentuate, and that will make his mouth look a little bit more relaxed. So if you are doing a portrait and you're looking at your person's mouth and you're thinking, why does it look like they just ate a lemon? It's probably because you need to draw a little bit more of these outer lines. Oh, come on. So same thing over here. A little bit elongation of the mouth can really make it more relaxed and natural. So I've done that. I've really been, oh gosh, too timid, too cautious, too much chasing perfection for portraits. I was doing, oh gosh, long story here, guys. Did you know that I was going to be one of the main characters in a reality TV show? If you don't know that one, that's kind of interesting. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Zona, my Shopify store for the other stuff is not up, like the sipping and dipping cup. But if you're looking for merchandise, go to Wood Burning University. Go to the home page and just scroll down towards the bottom, and you'll see wood burning merchandise available. Just start kind of browsing through there. Okay. And guys, I do not make my own cups. Somebody said something about sublimation. I just saw it. Oh Okay. Anyway. Somebody was talking about sublimation. Oh, there it is. Vivian. I don't make these. I design them and then I have them printed through Printify is the one I'm using. There's lots of companies out there that can print stuff for you on stuff and then drop ship them. It's so much easier. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Okay. Cynthia, did you get your t-shirt? Because yours was one of the ones that got hung up, and I do apologize for the delay. Because I'm thinking, I haven't checked that in a while, and it's supposed to be automated, and I thought maybe I ought to check it, and your t-shirt was hung up. I think it was just on my end, because I have to pay for the products, and then, you know, you pay me, and then I get the difference. Anyway, it's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm glad you got your t-shirt. Thanks, Barbara. I love the merchandise as well. I'm very, very happy with the provider. So I'm kind of like leaving you guys out to hang on the TV show thing, huh? Hold on. I am multitasking, and we do need a wood burn here. Okay, so a little bit of a softer lip. I think it's okay so far. Okay. Rich, I don't know if my supplier has hats yet. I love hats. If you saw me on the tractor today. Oh, Rich, I think you weren't here. We have a Discord channel, and I put a link or a video on there today. I put it in the wrong folder. It's in the ideas and feedback folder. But anyway, it's me driving the tractor today, clearing roads with the snowblower. I had a hat. I love hats. So I want a wood burning university hat too. Okay, back to my story. I was contacted several years ago now from a gentleman, great guy, super nice, that was going to put together a reality TV show called Burning for the Stars. No, Building for the Stars. Sorry, Building for the Stars. And he had a furniture builder, and him and his buddy was a videographer. And then somehow, I don't know how, they came across my name and number as far as wood burning onto some of the furniture. Kind of a crazy story. Anyway, oh gosh, it was a multi-year thing of trying to get this TV show up off the ground. I burned 3 wood burnings for them, for the TV show, and one was of a celebrity, and one was of the 3 main characters, the builder, the main guy, and then the videographer. Anyway, there was the 3 guys, and it was a 2-foot by 3-foot wood burning of these guys, all kind of together, and it said wood burning at of the stars at the top. And it was a colossal project. It took me like 150 hours. And then I gave them the wood burning of the celebrity, which they built into a very cool piece of furniture and actually gave to the celebrity. And then I did one more wood burning. It was a smaller one for another celebrity. And then let's see, I donated a wood burning that went to a celebrity that was a soap opera, longtime soap opera star. I think Deidre Hall was her name. She got that one. And then, oh, you guys know the movie Happy Gilmore. It's an older one where, oh gosh, what was his name? He was a golfer. Adam Sandler was a golfer in the movie Happy Gilmore. If you guys know that, give me a shout out. Anyway, if you guys have seen that movie, you know of Shooter McGavin. Shooter McGavin was the nemesis of the movie Happy Gilmore. Anyway, the actor that played Shooter McGavin, he got another one of my wood burnings. He got oh my gosh, it was a mountain lion coming out of the dark. It was in my book. So he got that one. Deidre Hall, I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, she got the owl with the the alcohol ink background. It's like a purple background with the owl. It was also in my book. So they each got those originals. Yeah. Anyway, and I got paid nothing for any of it. None of it. Not my time, not the materials, not the wood burnings, nothing. And I don't want to be too harsh with the main guy. He was really trying, and we had, oh gosh, something awesome set up. And another, it was a music star, a musician, basically took all their money, double booked them, took all the money, and bankrupt them. And I had put a lot of money into that as well because I was a part owner in the TV show. So anyway, I know that the main guy that I've been working with, he still wants to make it right, but I was out not only all the wood burnings, all the time, all the projects, but a substantial amount of money as well. So that was my experience with a reality TV show. I think had it taken off, it would be really, really cool. Because I would be like, there was the three amigos, and then it was going to be me. And this was a few years ago, and I haven't really talked about it because there's not much I can do about it. I'm sorry, I'm not instructing, I'm storytelling here. Oh gosh. Sometimes those things that are too good to be true, sometimes they are, and sometimes they just hit roadblocks. But anyway, at this point in time, given the chance again to do like a reality TV show, unless I had big time control over it, I wouldn't do it. Because I think personally the Hollywood industry is a little bit dark side, and I wouldn't want to be in that environment and away from my family. Many years ago it was different, but I was also contacted by another reality TV show after this other one kind of fell through, and it was more competitive, you know, fighting and all that drama, and I wasn't interested in all the drama. So all I wanted to do was share my artwork and make wood burning more well known, which would help all of us. Anyway, so that was my time with that. Anyway, if this fellow ever makes it rich, I hope to get my significant investment back. But at this point, it's years gone by, so I have to move on. All right, so the shadow under his nose is a little bit bright. We're gonna tone that down. Oh my gosh, it's 7 o'clock, guys. So we've had lots of nice story time, and we've burned the mouth, we've fixed the eyes. He looks more happy. Okay. Yeah, you guys agree. Yeah, that Hollywood is dark side anymore. So I always believe that things work out for the best. Cindy, hi Cindy. Cindy is asking, did I get any business from it? No, I did not. I basically got no. I got nothing. I got a big pile of debt and a lot of lost time. And a lesson learned. So, and I don't really have hard feelings with the people that were putting it on. It's a good guy. He really means well, it just, we had everything lined out and then it just didn't work out. So, I can't believe I haven't told you guys that before. And remember I told you in the past where I'm like, I'm locked inside during the summer and I have these projects to do and I couldn't get outside. Well, that was part of it. I lost my summers as well and I was really mad. So, nope, no paid. No pay. No nothing. A lot of debt and lost time, lost money. But I tackled my biggest wood burning to date. I gotta share that with you guys. It's so amazing. It's in a closet. Tell you what, guys, maybe next week, if you remind me, I will get out that 2 foot by 3 foot wood burning and show it to you guys. It was fantastic. It was so cool. All right, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna keep burning here. Fighting with a wood burner? No, I guess I mean Vivian. A competition base, like who did the best wood or project. Anyway, I'm not a drama person, so I didn't do the drama. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more here under the mouth, and then we're gonna do the ears. Yes, Barbara, trials make us stronger for sure. Hollywood, yeah, Hollywood's no longer very good. Yeah, Zona, I really thought about doing I can't speak. Those reality TV shows where they have artists and then you have like a challenge and you have so much time and all that. I thought that'd be kind of cool, but they want to pit you against each other and fight, and then sometimes they'll make you out to be the bad guy just because. And I'm like, I have a reputation as an artist that I don't want to damage, and so I had to be very careful of that because I already had an established customer following. I had people that have trusted me to teach them wood burning. They've bought my books and they bought the DVDs. And I had to be really careful as far as going on a TV show. What if they make me out to be a really nasty person? Which they can do. And they have the right to do that when you sign their papers. So that was a risk that I didn't want to take. Publicity would be cool, but not at the cost of everything that I am, you know? It's a fine line to walk, guys. A friend and I were just talking about that, about staying true to yourself in times of challenge. So it's always good to stay true to yourself. All right, so I have a little bit of a highlight right there. All this kind of is dark, and you can see I'm starting to put in some strokes for the lower fur. I've done too many nature wildlife pieces. Yes, this is our furry gremlin here. He's a leprechaun. We're gonna make him look really sweet when we're done. So I just want a little baseline below the lip, and then we'll burn in the ears, which will be fun. Okay. So a lot of this area over here is in highlight, so I'm not really going to even go there. All right, let's work on the ears. Let's see, how much do I need to fold? No, I got to fold here. Okay, let's see. You guys are so sweet. You guys like story times. I missed like a lot of the chat with my talking. Okay. Yep, TH, everything is for a reason. Barbara, trials make it stronger. Yep. Zona, I could put pictures on the Discord. Absolutely. I have great pictures on my phone, but my daughter has my phone. So, but it was so challenging because one of the guys, he had like, you know, the straw woven hats, a cowboy hat with the texture. He was also wearing a flannel shirt. And the other guy was wearing a pinstripe shirt. It was so difficult. But it was really cool. Yeah, I'm happy living in the woods and just teaching you guys. That's where I'm at. It's so good. Terry, you got booted out of the chat? I'm sorry. I'm glad you're back. Okay. Alrighty, so let's keep going, and we're gonna work on the ears. I think I'm gonna sand down this ear for sure. Alright, so let's kind of knock down some of these areas a little bit. If you don't have one of these erasers, they're super cool. And if you don't like those, I have the other M-Jump ones, which are cool too. And they are eluding me. Here's one. Okay. So these guys are great for more broad sanding. But for detailed work, these guys are nice too. Okay. All right, so generally when I go to create a shape, I like to do the outlines for it first. You guys can't see the ears. All right, I'm gonna move me down here. I hope that's okay. Oh, I'm behind the subscribe button. Haha. I'll put me down in the very far corner. I'm gonna hide down here, guys. Okay, let's work on this ear. So I'm out of the way. We'll do that one for now. So we have a nice dark, okay, hold on. Gotta make sure you guys can see stuff. All right, let's do this here. Hey, there we go. Now you can see the ear. And now I can go up here. Yoink. All right. You're welcome, Barbara. I'm glad that you guys listen to the stories. It's all just part of life. Absolutely, Vicky. Yes, one ear does look more pointed. It could be that the other one is folded back. I don't know. He's a leprechaun, so his ears can do whatever they want right now, I think. But yeah, this one is definitely very more pointed. Maybe he was a boxer and he's got a cauliflower ear on the other side. I don't know. So burning around the ear, we have this nice dark background back here, which will create the definition of our light colored ear. It could be, Barbara. Maybe his hat is pushing down on his ear. The mushroom hat looks a little heavy on that side. Okay, so now that we have kind of the outer shape of the ear, let's work on the darker areas here. If you hear cats, they are, the kittens are squabbling. They like to wrestle. And you're hearing Bobby. She's the female, and she gets mad at her brother for wrestling. So she starts to yell. But when she's the aggressor, she doesn't make any sound. She does like to sleep, and he likes to come over and just chew on her. So sibling rivalry, but they're so cute. They like to snuggle and play. Guys, I've been thinking about getting another web camera and putting it down on the floor so you guys can watch the cats. I don't know if that would be too distracting, though. That might be distracting. Be sure cute, but don't jump on me. Hey, bud. What are you doing? When he chirps, he does that. thing. Sometimes he throws himself at my legs and like sinks his claws on into my leg, and he does it without notice. Usually when I'm in the kitchen trying to make food. And I have so many scratches on my legs, but he's super sweet and I love him. But I hear that. I'm fearful. Good night, Cynthia. I hope you sleep well. Zona. Yeah, he just chews on her. He like nibbles on her neck. He just burrows in there and just chomp, 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 chomp. So you guys want the kitty cam. Aw. Vicky, I'm so glad that you keep coming back every week. Yep. We are totally just humans here and cats. And it's all fun. Who wants to hear a robot talk? You know the funniest thing? Segue here, guys. Sidetrack. But do you know how whenever you sign up for something or you fill out a form online, they always want you to click on the box that says you're not a robot? There's this thing that I always do that whenever I click the box that says I am not a robot, I always do it in a robot voice. I am not a robot. I can't even do it right now, but you get the idea. I always do a robot voice and I sound like a robot when I click the I am not a robot box. So yeah, we are people here. It's more fun if we're just people. I never went to college, but I know some people have had college professors that are just like read in that monotone voice. That's not me. Oh, you do the same thing. Oh gosh, Lisa. Yep, I always do it. Even when my husband goes to, hey, be nice. Even when my husband does the check mark, I can't speak, check mark on the box that he's not a robot, I have to elbow him and say, you have to say it in the right voice. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Vivian says you would like to watch kitty TV. Well, right now I have dog and cat. Oh my gosh, you guys. I can't even get it. The cat is assaulting the dog, and the dog ran away. I'll put a camera down on the floor, guys. Hey, Rich, enjoy your tea. What kind of tea are you having tonight? I'll get another webcam, guys. I'll just set it on the ground, and you can see all the joy of the critters. So he has some little hairs in his ear that are quite profound. So I am wood burning around those little ear hairs. Oh gosh, guys. This has been a fun evening. A little bit different. I'm a little bit distracted. But the chat is so fun. And we're telling stories, so that's okay. I swear if I just like monotone talk to you guys, everybody would be asleep. So let's make it interesting. Keep coming back. You never know what you're going to hear. You never know what you're going to see. Especially if I put a kitty cam on the floor. I am not responsible for what they wash. Disclaimer right here and now. Barbara, you practice accents, and when you work from home, your husband would ask you how many people were in your office. Oh gosh. Terry, you do the same thing with the robot voice, and you didn't go to college either. Absolutely. Yep. Well, if they don't want us to be robots, okay. I will be a rebel. All right, so we have a little bit of lighter shading in the crease of the ear. So really, if you look at this upper part of the ear here, all we have is a crisp line with a downward gradient, and that's it. Wood burning around these little hair whiskers here, they're chunky. Remember, whenever we burn around whiskers or hair, make them thick and chunky. They're very bright here. They're not there, but that's okay. You can always shave them down and make them thinner. Work in layers. We don't want to make this really dark really fast because we'll probably overburn the little tiny hairs and they'll be singed and they'll be gone, and there we are. So generally I work from dark to light, so I find it easier to put in the darks first and then blend out the lights, and we'll have this ear finished up in no time. I don't know what background we're going to do on this fellow. So I'm just going to add in a really light outline because I don't know what we're going to do. I don't think he needs a black background. I don't know that I really want to do a gradient background either. So until I decide, we will just, put in a light line. I have to sneeze. Holy cow. Okay. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Rich is having a holiday spice tea from Christmas. Ooh, black tea, spices, and fruit. So black tea has caffeine, right, Rich? I still have to sneeze. Sorry guys, that came on like really sudden. Doesn't black tea have caffeine? Zona, your favorite animal is kitties. Your kitties, aw. Mina, you have an accent without even trying? Would love to hear your accent. Okay. I could just sit here and watch your chat all day, guys. Okay, I gotta keep working. All right. Thanks, guys. Sorry for sneezing. It happens, though. All right. I do have a little bit of a shadowy thing underneath this ear, so I'm going to add a little bit more of a hard line to create some definition there. So instead of just a gradient, I'm going to make it a little bit more profound here. It's a fold of the ear, which is kind of fun. And now that we have our darks laid in, now comes the fun part. Sometimes when blocking in an area, I will look at this. I don't see anything more than a light mid-tone. So to speed up time, I'm just going to block in a light mid-tone over all of it. I don't see any highlighted areas. The lightest area is a light mid-tone. And then you can go back and kind of soften up and blend that together. Here's a shadow under like the earlobe. And kind of soften out these gradient areas. And blend it all together. So, let's see, that's, so far so good. Let's work on the little tiny hairs and make them look more natural. Generally, wispy hairs get a little bit, not really transparent, but they kind of disappear towards the ends. So you can mimic that by adding a touch of shading towards the tips. And then just make them thinner and thinner until they're nice and wispy. Okay, so for the upper part of the ear, everything is really, really light. So we have a touch of a shadow here. And if you happen to overburn some of these areas, you can always go back in and add like a touch of white colored pencil to bring out some highlights. So don't worry too much about it if you get it too dark. Just don't get it like really dark over there. Okay. So Rich, it does have caffeine. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I have to be careful with caffeine at night. I didn't used to. I used to have caffeine all the time. And then I had children. And everything else changed. I hope you enjoy your tea, Rich. That sounds very, very lovely. Laura, you usually sneeze 10 times in a row. Wow. My husband is like 5 to 7. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's so cool. But still, I would love to hear your accent though, because you know, us Americans, we don't think we have an accent, and so we hear everybody else in the world, and it's like, oh, how cool to have an accent. But I would love to hear yours too. Awesome, guys. Okay. So we have a little bit of an ear forming there. Let's maybe jump over and add in the... Oh, look at him. Yeah, I think he's... Oh my gosh. He reminds me so much of one of my family members. They've since passed away. So maybe that's why I'm really drawn to this piece. There's definitely a hint of someone I have known all my life, and they're no longer here, so I think that's partly why I really like this project. Okay, so let's pull this down and let's scoot this over because now I can't see the chat. Okay. Tell you what, part of the struggle is just dealing with the equipment. Alrighty, so once again, let's add a little bit of a darker line up and above the ear. That will create the definition of the top part of the ear. And I'm just going to kind of hit this with a lighter outline. Alrighty. So Vivian, when you scold your dog, your Puerto Rican accent comes alive. Wow. I've been feeling so bad. My one of my kittens, the boy cat, Chipper, he gets on the countertop and he knows he's not supposed to. And you know, in the beginning I was tolerant because I'm not going to scare the daylights out of a little kitten that just came to live with us, but now he's been here a while. He knows better. Anyway, it's so funny. He can tell by the tone of my voice that I'm really unhappy. He lays his ears back and then he just like deflates. He just sinks flat and he covers the countertop. He's like, if I get really low, she can't see me. And the other day he kept jumping up while I was at the sink. And usually I have a squirt bottle and it didn't work. So I just grabbed some water from the faucet and threw it on him. Told him to get down and he ran and hid from me. It was so sad. I felt really bad. But he didn't get on the counter like until evening, so he's such a smart boy. Did you know he fetches? I'll throw a ball. He loves to fetch these little balls, and he brings them back. They're like this big. They're so cute. I need to take videos of him. I could probably, I don't know, make like a ton of money and have 1 million views just off of him. He's so cute. He fetches bowls. He brings them back. Our other cat, we have 2 cats now that fetch. They're so sweet. All right. So just doing some outlining here while we're talking. We have a nice dark outline up here at the top. And then we have some little earlobe tidbits of the ear inside. Those are going to be soft edges. So I hope you guys can see the difference between more of a hard edge. It's very crisp versus a soft edge. It's very soft and fuzzy. The detail up here at the top of the ear, we want to be a little bit more crisp, but down here, all this stuff is going to be a little bit more blended and soft. It's out of focus and generally just not very clear. Okay, we're going to fill this in with a darker value. Oh, I'm missing the chat, guys. Terry says, everyone asks if you are from the South. They say you have an accent. You were born in Ohio. So was my husband. My husband was born in Ohio. He was the Solon area. Where are you from, Terry? Ah, sounds great. You're a generic hillbilly. I can tell you from... All right, check it on the chat here, guys. Aw. So Zona, you and your husband are both from New York, and you're in North Carolina now, and people tell him that he has a New York accent. You don't hear it. It's so interesting how we get used to the different tones. Yeah, he's such a sweet kitty. He's a little snuggle bug, I tell ya. They're both snuggle bugs. But when Bobby, the girl kitty, when she snuggles, it's like for like a couple minutes tops. When he comes to snuggle, it's like an hour and a half. Oh my gosh. I was having spinal issues in my back because I would hold him, and he's getting big, and I would try to still sit in my chair and work and hold him, and I was experiencing some significant pain in my back, so I had to do things a little bit differently, but we're better now, and I can still snuggle and work, but he's a good boy. Alrighty, so we definitely have darker values up here at the top where the ear kind of ducks under. It's more recessed. It's farther away from the viewer. It's tucked in deeper, so it's going to appear darker. And that's really all that value is take a look at how far away is it from you. So the creases in here are going to be more recessed. They're going to be farther away. The nose is going to be forward, so it's going to be generally lighter. So really enjoy that that push and pull of the darker and lighter values. Lisa, I felt so bad. He's such a sweet kitty, and he was hiding from me. But I told him again and again to get off the countertop. Aw. Barbara, you have another critter, Maya. Oh, that's great. Zona says, I love when they play fetch. Yep. Aw. Love it. Thanks, Barbara. Terry, you're from Warren, Ohio. Cool. I'll have to ask my husband. I don't know. I've been back there like once or twice to Ohio. Ohio? Ohio. I don't know. Okay. I'm getting sidetracked here. Let's finish the ear. So we still have some little white whisker hair things here. Okay. So we have a little bit of a curved, soft, valued, wispy thing there. I'm going to add in just some real rough, like, hair texture in his ears. He has hairy ears, and that's okay. It's pretty common. And then because it's in the shadow, we don't want it really bright. We're just going to knock down those values with a little bit of soft shading, and it blends in, but you can still kind of see that shape in there, which is pretty cool. So he has like a little swirly in the ear. Let's maybe change that up a little bit. It's so funny because like I look at what I'm doing and then I look at the screen and I see more as far as what I should fix. All right, so we have a little bit of a wispy hair down here. And it's pretty dark in this little section. So again, don't be afraid of realism. Really break it down to abstract shapes. As we work our way up, we have it's like crescent shaped on this side, squiggle shape over here. It's darker on this side, and it generally has a dark value. Boom, done. You're done with that little section. We're moving up. We have, it's pretty dark here against the cheek. And then we come up, bump, bump, really long bump there. And then we have some elongated snake shapes. I don't know. Just break it down into shapes that your mind can wrap around. They may be straw shapes or stick shapes or snake shapes, whatever you think about. This reminds me almost like of a fishbone in here. So just try to match the abstract shape with the correct value. And then take a step back and assess and see how it looks and make some adjustments. I still think that the key to realism is abstract shapes. Yeah, Barbara, Chipper has not jumped on me, like, thinking if he even, did he even come to snuggle today? I don't think so. Of course, they have snuggle time, and then they have sleep time, and I think during his snuggle time, I was out on the tractor, so he was just sleeping, because when I came in from the tractor, he was snoozing pretty good. Yeah, he usually likes to jump on me at a moment's notice. He's a snuggle bug. It does look like fish bones. Yeah. So whatever you put in your mind to try to create the illusion. And that's the cool thing, guys. All that artists are, we are illusionists. We are creating the illusion of a three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional surface. That's it. We're just pretending to make a three-dimensional shape. It's pretty cool when you think about it. It's all an illusion. So when people create something that is like hyper realistic or out of this world accurate, keep in mind that they are still creating an illusion, no more than we are with, lines and texture here. So I think it kind of takes the pressure off when you realize that this is not an actual portrait. This is not an actual person. We're just creating the illusion of a portrait person. little bit more up top on the ear. I don't know if I really want fish bones in there, so I might. Okay, so I'm trying to think about how this would look. And if you really don't like a section, just make it darker. It's in shadow. We can't see it. I don't know what's going on in there. See, and now it's not so critical that you get it perfect. All right. So some of the highlights on the ear we need to knock down a tad too. All right, let's take a step back because that's always a good idea. Blink. Oh, there's his other ear. Okay. Alrighty, so he's doing pretty well so far. He definitely looks happier. He still has a little twinge of orneriness, so that's all good. Oh, Lisa is saying that I should get a baby harness carrier for Chipper. I cannot tell you how much I've wanted that because I will cook and he wants to be held. I will try to do computer work. He wants to be held. We'll try to burn and he looks like he wants to be held. Every time I do anything, he's like, pick me up, Mom. So I know I really think that somebody should invent a cat harness to snuggle kitties for sure. Thanks, guys. I think he's looking a little bit better now. I'll see what else I can do to kind of tone down his eyes, but he's looking better. Holy cow. There, look at the depth in this. This is a lot of fun. All right. He looks almost adorable. Yeah. Almost. Oh my gosh. So the person that this really reminds me of in my family, he was so ornery all the time. He used to just tease me as a child and I was always terrified of him. But when I grew up, I realized that he was actually really, really sweet and ornery as heck, trust me. But yeah, I was terrified of him for most of my life. And it wasn't until I was like in my late teens or early 20s that I finally started kind of like teasing him back and we kind of evened the playing field a little bit. And yeah, after that we got along much better. And anyway, so I think he passed away in maybe 4 years ago. But I tell you what, he was quite the character. Aw. Well, sorry, Mellow Yellow, that you have missed part of the chat, but you're always able to go back and take a look. So glad that you are with your daughter. Thanks, Mina. I don't know how much he ever really loved me. It was just kind of I don't know. He was a hard character to read for ever. He was a teaser. I tell you what, he was ornery and a teaser. I learned a lot from him, just as me being a person and him being a person. And he teased me so much as a little kid, and then I really started giving it back to him when I got older, and I realized kitties, that he almost didn't deserve that, because I was picking at him like he was picking at me. And then I finally just quit, because I'm like, this isn't me. And anyway, He was ornery to the core, to the very last. They're cats. Can you hear the cats? Aw, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, too. He was, that he passed, Vivian. It's life, though. You know, everybody passes, so it's kind of one of those things. But he taught me a lot. A female leprechaun. Oh, guys. I have no idea how that... I'm just kind of working around here. I kind of zoned out that last little bit. Sorry. Okay. So we have our outline for our next area. Let's start adding in some more... Everything's soft right here. Soft shading. Don't put in hard lines here if you can help it. Like really harsh digging lines. Everything needs to be just really soft. That was a bad curve, but I can fix it. So just kind of sketch in some of these areas. It's all in the misty shadows, so it doesn't really matter if it's perfect. It'll be fine. Oh, you guys can hear the cats. Yeah. Vivian, he needs a girlfriend. I think he has a wife at this point. Based on the look on his face, I think he has a wife. A long-term, like, wife. He's been around for a while. Oh, you guys can hear the kitties. Thanks, Mellow Yellow. Yeah, I was never really close with this family member, but... Hey, what are you doing? Don't eat the box. It was difficult. It was a challenge, but like I said, I was terrified as a child, and I related to his orneriness, and finally got the courage to kind of stand my ground, which was good. And then we were kind of at a standpoint, you know, like more equals. Anyway. He was a good guy. All right, so just filling in some darker midtones in here. Kind of lost in the hair. Just add in some squiggle marks back and forth, shade it in. Okay. Oh, hey, look at this fellow. Oh. There is a difference between this fellow and the guy that I knew. This guy has teeth. My wonderful uncle did not. All right, there we go. Oh, that's great. Okay, give me 1 minute, guys. I gotta take care of something. I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, I am back. Thank you for the patience. What happened to the fire? It's just It just is down. We need to add another log to the fire. Alrighty, guys. Oh gosh, yeah, Terry. Yep, mine was an uncle. Yeah, he didn't have any teeth. He didn't like. He had false teeth, but he never wore them. Uncles, man! I tell you what, I had another uncle that just terrified me as a child. Of course, whoa, he would chase me and yell at, like, rawr. Anyway, to this day, he's so wonderful and has helped us so much. Alrighty. Oh. The eyebrows look better than the photo? Really, Terry? That's cool. Nice. I like that. Alright, so we have a little bit over here. That's kind of the beard area, but... Just looking here as far as where we need to go next. We're doing really well. So maybe we'll just kind of float around and do some fine tuning here. Let me move this giant 2-foot piece of wood so you guys can see it. And I will add this here so you can see that as well, hopefully. And let's maybe just do some fine tuning here really quick. Okay, so looking at balance, let's see. I think like this side of his face needs to be a little bit darker. So let's maybe just kind of tweak a little bit of those values here really quick. So we're going to start with the darks. Remember, go back down to the basement. Touch up those darker layers, those darker levels. Your darks are going to be your foundation that everything else is built off of. So if your darks are not dark enough, go back down to the foundation, burn those first, and then work your way up from dark to light. Because his cheek is actually quite light. So nice soft shading across the cheek. Are you guys still here with me? I know I ran off to take care of something. I think you guys are still here. Okay. If not, yell at me, which wouldn't work because you're not here. So it's okay. It's been a long, long day, guys. So I get up at 5:30 to get the munchkin ready for school. And today was especially difficult because I was like in the middle of a vivid dream. It was the craziest thing. Multitudes of crazy. I have very vivid dreams. So I woke up this morning and I slept in and I had nothing but grogginess all day. I just stand in the kitchen. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I got to make lunch for the kiddo to go to school. And it's been a rough day. It's been a long day. You guys are still here. Okay, great. I know it's kind of quiet. Sometimes that's okay. But it's been a long day. You know those mornings where you just stand in the kitchen and you just kind of like spin around because you don't know what to do? That was me today. Usually I'm much more on it, but not today. I was in a very deep, deep sleep. So I'm just kind of touching up, darkening up some of these little areas here. Smoothing, blending. We want smooth, smooth, smooth for skin texture. Multiple layers. Another thing when you burn skin, whoa, this thing is really big. Something that I will do is if I'm generally shading in one direction, and this is going to be exaggerated here, But if I'm generally shading in one direction like this, and you want those nice and tight, you don't want to see the spaces, I will alter slightly and go this way. It's almost like waves that are on an ocean and they balance each other out. And then you can go at a different angle like this. So even if your strokes aren't super tight together, which they should be, generally when you want to do smooth shading, make sure there's no gaps between your strokes. You want it to be one continuous mass and not have gaps like that. So as long as your shading is really nice and tight, even then sometimes you can still see the marks. So if you go at a slightly different angle each time, kind of like cross hatching, but not like this kind of cross hatching, a little bit more subtle. Just slightly alter the angle of each new layer. You can get a really, really nice blended smooth shaded area, kind of like this, and this hasn't been sanded or anything. There's a cat here. It hasn't been sanded or anything, but you can get a really nice smooth texture by crisscrossing ever so slightly your strokes in your stroke pattern. So that's what I generally do to get really this smooth skin shading. I'm still going in the general direction, but I'll go from like this angle to that angle to this angle, and I'll kind of cross it over, and it makes it really nice and smooth. So lots and lots of layers, lots of blending for the skin tone. Oh, thanks guys. Yes, Zona, I would generally go, and you can see some of my strokes are going in the curvature of the cheek. That being said, you can still slightly alter your strokes so they're not, I guess, you can go from here to there and then from here up. Slight variations of the same curve will give you a smoother result. I hope that makes sense. Think of it like ripples in a pond that will cancel each other out. It's like cross-hatching, but very subtle. I hope that makes sense. So, but yes, if at all possible, follow the curvature of your subject. Like this fellow's nose, we're going to start with an upward flicking motion that carries across in a circular motion. But if you do the same motion over and over again, it's going to look a little bit repetitive. So change your angle ever so slightly. Thanks, Mina. I'm so glad that's what you need for your current project. Yes, like if you're shading any my gosh, I didn't tell you this. When you're shading any background and you're constantly doing the back and forth, alter it ever so slightly. So if you're here, change the degree just a tiny bit for different shading. Go back to flat, shade slightly the other way, and do a very, very, very subtle cross hatching, and it blends it out so much better. Vivian is asking, can you do the crisscross motion with a wire burner and still look that smooth? Yes. Let's take a look at a wire tip burner. You can do that. So I would strongly recommend that you practice first. So flip this sucker over. So many of my wood burnings have stuff on the back side. That's totally fine. So I have the razor tip right here. Oh dear, where are the cords? Aha! I know they're here because I have them in the drawer. Okay, here's one. No, that's something else. My goodness, guys. So I have a wood burning unit and the pens. I do not have the cord. I know I have the cord. Oh, is that it? No. Anyway, yes, you can. Okay, think about it like this. Generally, a wire tip pen is going to be more harsh, more strong. So this is a red pen. This is about as harsh as you can get because I can't find my cord. Because I would love to show you this. But come on. Oh, I have another one. I don't know why, guys, my tools disappear. Okay, it's not here. So with a wire tip pen, it's generally a little bit harsher. So you're going to want to do the same thing, but really light. Keep your pressure light. I will find that cord. I will make sure that I have that razor tip up and running tomorrow. I don't know why my cord isn't here, and I do apologize for that. So even with a ballpoint pen, which is pretty harsh and non-blendable, if you carry on lightly in a certain direction like this, come on, get me a little bit lighter. If you carry on like this, just keep it really light, and then angle slightly, and you see I actually shifted my body. Sometimes that helps me to get into a different position. So see, now I'm going, this is exaggerated here. I was doing that, and now I'm doing this. If you just change your angle slightly, you can blend it pretty well, and then change it again at a little bit flatter angle like that. And then you can even go more vertical. You can do the same thing with the razor tip. It doesn't even really matter what pen you have, whether it's a ballpoint pen, a shading point, or a spoon shader, anything like that. You can still kind of alter it in different directions and get that same blended motion. So great question, Vivian. I hope that makes sense. And I will definitely get the wire. I don't know where the wire went for that pen, but all right. So let's zoom out here, guys, and take a look. And this is turning out pretty cool. Oh, Zona, faces are scary. So do some practice faces for sure. Human faces can be very scary. You know what? Just start with like a little tiny square of a mouth. And just do mouth swatches or eye swatches. And just try to match those first and then move it to where everything is together. So, okay. There's a question. Zona, you're saying that you're gonna have to practice that too, to not make the lines harsh or too dark. Definitely take your time. You can always go darker, but you can't go lighter unless you sand. So take your time. Awesome, guys. Well, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Vicky is asking, where do you get my very large pieces of wood? This one is 2 feet long by, I don't know, probably 8 inches wide. And I had it sanded And I'm just gonna cut it off, or have my husband cut it off. But these ones I get from Walnut Hollow, and if you are wanting to save money, don't buy the shorter sections that are like 8x10. Buy the 2-foot ones and cut them yourself. They are significantly cheaper. And for the really big pieces of wood, like the 2-foot by 3-foot, look for HeinekeWoodProducts.com. And they can give you kind of custom wood projects, which is pretty cool. I hope that helps, Becky. All right, guys. Good night. Thanks so much for being here, and really appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Thanks again. Like this board takes up all my table. I can't even see the screen. All right.